is for you. It 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 is for you. Disappears, and I die in you till I is no longer here. There's only you. 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 There's only you.
Om Shri Sadguru Mooji Baba ki Jai!
Mooji Baba, oh my holy father. Mooji ji, Mooji Baba, you're my holy father. Closer, closer than my heart. You are closer, closer than my heart. You are Mooji ji, Mooji Baba, oh my holy father. closer, closer than my heart. You are closer, closer than my heart. You are Mooji ji, Mooji ji, Mooji Baba. Oh, my Holy Father, Mooji ji, Mooji ji, Mooji Baba. You're my Holy Father, closer, closer than my heart. You are closer, closer than my heart. You are Mooji ji, Mooji ji, Mooji Baba. Oh, my Holy Father, Mooji ji, Mooji ji, Mooji Baba. You're my Holy Father. You're my Holy Father.
Oh. Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today here in Rishikesh. And I would like to say welcome to all who are joining us via broadcasting in order to experience Satsang in real time with us here in Rishikesh. So one Sangha is our embrace, our attitude, one Sangha. And we know also that the energy and the spirit of Satsang is conveyed beautifully through internet also. And many people have written also and have come subsequent to joining online for our retreats and satsangs and have reported beautiful things. So very much I welcome you for today's satsang. Very good. Okay, come.
Namaste.
Namaste.
You know, Mooji, the only thing I want, the only thing I desire is to totally surrender to that. So I please help me to surrender that parts. I don't know what, because I still think something is, like...
Sometimes the people say like this, just as he's speaking now, they say, please help me to surrender, because I've tried, but there's still something, I don't know what it is. I don't know, I can't identify clearly what is this thing that still needs to be surrendered, you see. So even in your surrender, you can say, I surrender even that which is undetectable at the moment. Even that which is hidden in some subconscious way, that also is offered, whatever that is. I can't work it out, you see? And it will work itself out. You see, your surrendering has to be a continuous attitude. It is not like buying something across the counter. I surrender, now make me free. No, sometimes we say things, and then life will continue presenting things in front of you, situations like that, thoughts, feelings, to see if you have surrendered them. You see? Because what it means to surrender, it means then I will not, I will leave everything to the Supreme, so that my own actions, thoughts, my feelings and my responses to them automatically are like the Lord's responses to them. Rid me of ego and merge me with you. Some people, they pray, replace me with you. Who makes this type of prayer? To replace me. You must have had some taste of something mightier than you. Mightier, greater than you can imagine. You must have been touched in some way to then have the confidence, and not just confidence, also the intelligence even, to say then you do it much better than I can do, so I surrender everything over to you. It's an attitude, and daily we are living in this attitude. But something must have happened to you already. A signal, a sign has come to you energetically. You must have felt something, then you say, this I can trust. You see, sometimes you meet people and you have never met before, you've never met them before, but somehow you feel total trust with them. And others, you know them many years, you can't trust them. Some you only met. And where does this trust come from, you see? So something is undoing your sense of control and harmonizing your own sense of individuality into the universal consciousness. That is intelligence, you see. It is intelligence on your part, and it is intelligence on God's part. So it's like that. And then somehow you will find that unexpected movements are taking place in you. Intuition, your intuitive abilities are growing. Wisdom is coming in. Wisdom is greater than knowledge. Wisdom is there. A love for life and for all of life's expression is suddenly emerging in you. You did not create. You're simply discovering, you see. This is the fruit of your own surrender. And in this attitude of surrender also, some jnana come also, meaning real knowledge come. Some people, they say, inquiry is not for me. I am more the bhakti type. I'm more devotional, you see. The Jnana Yoga, it's too mental, they say. I said, it's not mental at all. It's not mental at all. If you look in the mirror and you see your face, is it a mental reflection? No. So when you look with the intelligence that comes when someone can show you the inquiry or engage you with the inquiry, You cannot say your discovery is mental. It must hit you in the heart. You see? So surrender is a good approach. One time someone approached Sri Ramana Maharshi and asked him like this: I prefer surrender. Could you help me to guide me through the ways of surrender? And he said, you must also surrender the surrenderer. So even the one who is surrendering must also be surrendered. Another man asked, how long should we keep on inquiring for? And he said, inquire until there's no one left to inquire. Who is going to follow this type of instruction? It must be that somehow your inner mind is being prepared for this. You see, it is not complex, it's not complicated. It is very simple. It is like a child's conversation with a parent. A very simple thing. Don't have to impress. The child doesn't approach parents with philosophy. Simple talk. Simple response. Then you say, I want to surrender, means it's not done yet. I want to surrender means there's something futuristic. I choose to surrender, that's kind of now, it's current. I choose. Within my limited capacity, if I only have 1% capacity, I will put 100% in my 1%. Then help me with the rest of it. One man came to Jesus, and he said, Lord, my servant is sick and dying. If you can do something, will you help us? So the Lord said to him, if? He says, no, all things are possible for the one who believes. Then listen to what the man responded. He said, Lord, I do believe. Help me to overcome my disbelief. Yeah? That was striking. I do believe means I choose to believe you. However, I have weaknesses. I have doubts. Help me to overcome my disbelief. This is authentic approach. Because you cannot impress the one you approach. So just be honest. Say, I don't know if I can surrender. I am just too arrogant to surrender. This is good, no? Because we should never think we are not arrogant. I try to surrender, but my arrogance comes in the way, my judgment comes in the way. Please help me. Teach me what surrender is. Touch me inside and give me a head start. This is good, wise.
When I discovered that the surrender is to be totally like it's silence in the heart.
Say again? When it is discovered that
I discovered that for me, like surrender is to be totally silent in the heart, like to be present here. Mm-hmm. And but sometimes like a judgment could come when I in the group of people, and suddenly judgment comes. Somebody says something, and this. So,
if someone says something and some reaction shoots up, don't take responsibility for this. Simply observe. This is some action, some reaction happens, and both are noticed. You see? Don't start to say, why did I have to react like that? You can't help reacting. Something reacts. Something acts, something reacts. Both are perceived. It's true or not?
Yes.
Both the action and the reaction is perceived. Know that. And watch, just let it happen. Let it happen. Don't take responsibility now, oh, why did I have to react like that, and so on. Stay in the place where there's an awareness of the activities of the body-mind, but they're simply watched. Don't identify, and no karma will build around you. Who understands what I speak? Yes. You don't identify with it, and so you reap no karma. Identify with it, you take responsibility for a reaction which was too quick for you to do. Say, whoa, look at that, this, like that. Yeah? I haven't moved. Then you say, oh, why did I do that? What, did you do something? No, action, reaction happened. And you'll begin to see, just by paying attention to that, how easy and how beautiful it is when you don't identify with the activities that are playing out in the body-mind. Now, some people will say, but that's not right. We should take responsibility. You should take responsibility. You see? And then, take responsibility. See how it feels. Take responsibility. There is a time when the sense of responsibility is appropriate. You will know that difference. You cannot know it by study. Intuitively. You see? The mind wants to study to make certain principles of things which are dynamic. It wants to hold them and tame them, and so I can rely. When I come back, you are still there. But life is not like that. It is like a man walking in the mountain, and then a big breeze come and blow off his toupee. And then he marks the place on a tree to say, when I come back, I'll remember where it came off my head. That's not going to help you. Or Bankai say, like someone drops a sword, his sword, a samurai sword, fell over. He's on a ship, and the sword fell out of the hand, and he marks the place on the railing where it fell. It's in the water. How is that going to help you? The mind is trying to make certain things to say, yes, we can rely on this, but it is not true to life. You are life. You see? And so you, in your own natural way, you're taking readings directly, not indirectly. You will feel them. So even sometimes 3 people may approach you with a question, and you may answer each of them differently. 1 question, 3 answers. Why? Because you are not only answering the question, but perhaps answering the questioner. It's a different vibration, and different words will come. Have you not noticed like that? You see? How are you going to standardize that? You cannot. So that type of spontaneity, that intuitiveness, nobody can give an account of it. It's pure, fresh, unrepeatable. The words that are spoken in this space, and those who hear them, are in one harmony. Something is arranged that no human being can do it. Another crowd, it will have a different orientation, a different vibration maybe. Anyhow.
Thank you, Mooji.
Yes. You get my central point. Central point is that as you let go of your structure or your projections, how you want life to be, then you come into the natural flow or the unfolding of the cosmic. You come into the cosmic rhythm in your dynamic activities. You're not so concerned about that because you are established in the Supreme. So your activities are flowing in a harmony. Do you intuitively understand what I'm speaking or not? And you'll watch. It's like as actions are happening, you are observing them, but you're not necessarily doing this. You see and you watch life. Life takes care of life. Sometimes we don't allow it. We don't allow ourselves to see this because we are acting too hurriedly. Our actions are premature. Our thinking is coming from fear. All this can change. All this can change. And very spontaneously even. Very spontaneously. Your work is only to pay attention to your sense of beingness. Simple thing. Just the feeling of being. It is always with you. Just feel and be one with the beingness. It's such a simple thing. The mind says, nah, it can't be that simple. Nah, he's hiding something. No, simple. When there come a time to know something more complex, it will come to you or someone will bring it to you. Someone unexpectedly will, if your mind is not sufficiently synchronized with the cosmic mind, it will bring it through someone else to you. So you don't have to develop any techniques for living. Of course, you want to study, some form of technology. You will have to study. That's okay. But to be in harmony with life, to be in your joy and peace, to flow with love and stillness, you don't need any practice so much. You are built for this harmony. Your body is built for it. Even the mind also has the capacity. But if you are too strongly identified with the person, you will suffer from person poison. Person poison, meaning that the beingness is not yet in direct recognition of itself. It is identified only with the persona, with conditioning, and with body. It's a limitation that we will live under this spell for a while until maybe it hurts too much. If it hurts too much, this is also grace, because that hurt will give you the aspiration to come out of it. And if you have the aspiration to come out already, you see, you're on the way out. If you're happy in your state, then you stay put.
Yes, and I just want to say that I am so happy that from my birth I was given the worst persona, or I don't know, ego, because every time I communicate with people I get hurted because of this expression. So then I realized, this must be something wrong with it. It doesn't work well.
Yeah.
So this. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. That is amazing. I don't think my finger's working well. You must really be ready for freedom to do that.
Mooji, you always say that the perceiver needs to be perceived. So all the actions and reactions, as you were saying before,
Yes.
they are being perceived. I can see that. But when I try to perceive the perceiver, I don't know where to go from there.
Okay. First you say that you were taught, you were made aware that you can be aware of your actions, of your thoughts. Until we are made aware of this, until it's pointed out that you can observe your actions and reactions and so on, we don't do that. We identify with them. So it was made aware to you that you can observe them and don't identify so much. And that was one of the first great discoveries. Because as you learn to observe and not participate, just observe, you see, you realize that it was possible to be detached. That is one of the most important ways of experiencing, that you can be detached from what you see. Have you met someone? Sometimes we see people who act out their thoughts. There's no space for them to stop and think about it. So they're restless, they're always looking at it. You see? Mind. So what you're seeing is mind in action. They're like this. I know some of them. I watch them like this, and even when they're with you, they're still in their mind bubble. Like this. This is when thoughts are coming and there's no gap. You're living out your thoughts. But the one who is aware can observe the thoughts coming. They don't get too involved, don't involve with it. Then they also watch the activities around, but they watch from a place of silence. Increasingly, they see that, wait, these activities are going on without me. They don't take ownership of them. Therefore, I say this is one of the first great realizations, that this thing is going on automatically. Even randomly it is going on. Why to take responsibility for such random thoughts and actions, you see? And so you realize that the watcher, the witness, is independent of the activity. That is the first. And you stay out of it. Only watching. Then now you say, you came to a realization that yes, all the activities are going on. They're simply the witnessing of them, the perceiving of the activities of the world, or of on this side of the eyes, the world. All of that is kind of going on, and even this body is moving. It is also known, it is perceived. And behind the eyes, in the world of feelings and thoughts and memory and imagination, that is also watched or watchable, isn't it? So you say, now all of that is perceived. In fact, some sensations are so subtle that there are no words for them. Still they are perceived, isn't it? So that's the first part. Second part, if it is clear that everything that comes through the senses and the mind are perceived, they cannot exist independent of the perceiver. Would you agree with this? That which perceives them, can that be perceived? That was the question. Okay? Then what did you do with my question? Show me what you did now.
I tried to perceive that, but after that,
Yes.
I didn't know.
When you were trying to perceive that, was it not the case that you trying to perceive that is also perceived? Let's slow down a little bit because it is worth it now to look. Your very intention to perceive as an entity, you said, now I try to perceive if the perceiver can be perceived. But that very action, the choice, the attention, the focus, the concentration, all of that is perceived. All of that is perceived.
So are they one? I'm not sure.
Even you who are not sure is perceived. Huh? It's not
Yes,
just
true.
a wasteful riddle. It is introducing something that it is a twist of consciousness, and somehow it is like you feel lost. You who are looking, you, the one who apparently heard the question, can the perceiver be perceived? Who heard this question? Can the perceiver be perceived? Where is the perceiver while the question is being asked? So even the question, can the perceiver be perceived, is perceived. And that which tries to find the answer to it, the intention to find the answer to can the perceiver be perceived, is also perceived.
So that's
So-
my mind that's asking that question.
Now you're guessing. Is it your mind that's asking the question, can the perceiver be perceived? If you're sure about it,
I don't know.
okay, let me put it another way. You who say you don't know is who? Because clearly, that which says I don't know is also perceived. Does it hurt the perceiving? The one who says, I give up, I just don't know. That also is perceived. Where is this perceiver? Is there a perceiver? We know
I
that
feel so.
it is perceived. Yeah? Does that indicate that there is a perceiver? When you say perceiver, it means like there's a tangible entity who is perceiving. And if there's a tangible entity that is perceiving, you see, can that entity be perceived? And by who and or what? Even you say, I feel so frustrating, that is also perceived. Is it useful, this question, if every answer you give is wrong?
So when I don't have any question, that means that's the end.
That is also perceived. Huh? Where is the perceiver? Who said that? Yes. Isn't it also known that the functioning of perception is happening and that is also perceived? And your own sense of yourself in its most complete portrayal, is that not also perceived? And instantly,
But Sorry, but I still don't understand.
Yes, because you want to understand with your mind. You want to understand with your mind. The mind goes, oh, I got it. And that will also be perceived as, no, you haven't. If the perceiver is interested in the object of perception, this perceiver is not the purest. It has picked up some quality. Can I say again like this? If the perceiver is interested, attached to the object of perception, whether it is an object or a thought or a feeling or an ideology, a philosophy, a belief, then it shares its quality with itself. So then it is not the pure perceiver. Would anybody agree? If it is contaminated, what knows this? What perceives this? That which is pure. Where are you in all of this? What is your place? Where are you in all of this introspection? Are you an object in front of the ultimate perceiver? Are you behind the lens of perception, looking through the lens? Or the lens which is what? Intelligence. There's the lens which is the physical lens, or there's just the lens which is the lens of perception. Where are you? Are you an object being watched? Are you the subject that is watching? Or are you beyond object and subject? Don't guess. This is closer than intimacy now. Listen to this. I said an example. Imagine a knife. It is so sharp, it can cut many things. Cut. It can cut many things, but it cannot cut itself. Or the eyes can see so many things, but they cannot see themselves. Cannot do it. Or a scale, I say often, a scale can weigh so many objects. You put and tell you 5 grams or something, it can weigh so many things, but it cannot weigh itself. Because it is one. Similarly, you are one, we are one. You cannot see yourself. You can see from yourself. St. Francis of Assisi, he said something. What you are looking for is already where you're looking from. What you're looking for is where you are looking from. The great poet Rumi says, knocking at the door, it opened. I have been knocking from inside. Clues. From inside. You intuitively know that everything that you are perceiving are objects of perceptions to you, and they come and go out of the range of your vision. They come and go, isn't it? You say, but I'm stuck. I can't go further because when I'm looking for the perceiver, I'm stuck. Why are you stuck? You cannot see the perceiver, you can only be the perceiver.
Thank you, Mooji.
You can't go like that. You are running away. Thank you, Mooji. No, you have to... Huh? What you're thanking me for then? Because sometimes mind is uncomfortable. The mind is uncomfortable. Sometimes just at certain point like this, the mind is saying, thank you, and going on. I see that. We were at some point, one like this, a few times, into, I'm remembering one occasion, we are at this point to discover, to break open what I feel is the secret of all confusion in the human kingdom. And one lady, so where are you going? Says, I'm going to toilet. I said, no, it's better you wet yourself and be free. Pee and be free. Rather than... What a time to be leaving. This is not by grace, this is disgrace. You can't be leaving like this. Mind wants to escape because something, you're about to discover something that it seemed like the mind plays to try and block you from really understanding this. So you want to be excused. Okay, thank you, Mooji. Yeah. What have you grasped? Tell me.
When I become one with the perceiver, I can't perceive, like as you gave the example of knife, it cannot cut itself.
Is this a disappointing discovery?
No.
You have to sit with this. You have to learn to appreciate what you're discovering. You must experience the power of that.
But I would like to experience that. I cannot stay as a being for a long time. There is so much personal identification. So,
if you observe, even the one who cannot stay is watched. Even the one who say, I cannot stay as the beingness. Is it the beingness that's saying this? Is the beingness saying, look, I can't stay as the beingness?
no.
The beingness, if any going to say something, he's going to say, I can't stay as the person.
Yes.
He can't say, I'm not staying as the beingness. So who is saying, I can't stay as the beingness?
That is also personal.
It's also what?
When I'm saying I cannot stay as
The being.
the being,
Yes.
maybe that is also mind. I don't know.
It is. Well, why you don't know? You do know. If you look with the light and the power of what you have just discovered, it's going to be too simple for you.
Because sometimes I observe the silence and it looks like that everything is clear, but not clear, there is silence. But later
Yes.
There is so much identification with thoughts.
Yes. Just like you observe the silence, you can observe the thoughts. If you observe the silence and you think, okay, now I've got it, because you have turned silence into a kind of, you're saying like that's the self, but it's only your perfume. You see? And you can't see the self. You cannot see the self. You can only be the self. But you must sit with this. You must look at it. You must say, I'm a little confused, but Mooji say like this, and so I must try, because you have already the experience of recognizing that everything is perceivable and that everything reports to one central place.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, Mooji.
So you know, you don't have to go over that again. That's already conquered ground. So now only was the perceiver, I can't catch it, which is correct, you can't catch the perceiver. And the one who's trying to catch the perceiver is seen to be also not true. Whereas before, how long you've been identified as this one who is trying to understand, trying to catch something. So when you realize that the one you have often called yourself, who is trying to catch the perceiver, is itself caught as the perceiver. Not as by the perceiver, it's caught as an object itself now. This is what is feeling uncomfortable. Can I say again like this? The one who you've always claimed you are is trying to find the root of the perceiving. Okay? And then I say, but that one looking for the ultimate perceiver is also perceived. So if it is perceived, this one, what does it make it? It is also phenomenal. Who you understand this thing? Yes. So if that one is phenomenal, it cannot be your highest truth. That is perceived. By whom is it perceived? And I say what after that? I say you cannot see the perceiver, you can only be the perceiver. So now you're discovering that you are that one that you've been trying to find. And the one who is trying to find suddenly becomes what?
The perceiver.
No, becomes an illusion. Huh? Yes. You are looking for the ultimate as an object. But when the ultimate is recognized as yourself, the one who is looking becomes the object. And the ultimate, which is what you are, is the pure subject. It is the one doing the looking. My God, you don't know what you have discovered. You don't know what you have discovered. And this is why I say, you must sit with it, marinate in it. Marinate in it. You have found the celestial gem, but you don't know it is you. I told a story once that there was one man, he was going out every day looking for precious stones. He goes to the rocks and he goes out with his donkey and he goes out chipping at the rocks to find little bits of stone that he could sell in the marketplace. That is his life. He goes out in the hot sun, chipping away. Sometimes a little bit of some stone. He looks at it, he puts it in his little bag, and chip all day in the hot sun. So one day, this man there, his donkey's there, he's chipping away, then it's very hot. He goes to sit down to have a piece of bread and some water for his lunch. as he was paying attention to the bread, a celestial gem fell from the heavens, into the sand just in front of him. Oh, what was that? He looked. He said, what? He found this beautiful gem, priceless, from heaven it come. But he said, what is this? It's a strange object, no? Looks like glass. So he picks it up and he looks, doesn't know what it is. So what he did was, he said, time to get back to work. So he takes some rope and he ties around the celestial gem, and he ties it around the neck of his donkey. I saw here in Rishikesh, I like donkeys. I saw sometimes they have malas around the donkey. So he put this celestial gem around the neck of donkey and left the donkey in the sun, goes back. Now, one stranger was passing, and he was also sitting in the shade watching all of this happen. No? So he looked and he said, look at that. This man is a fool. So he starts to walk towards this man, and he says, when he's close enough, he says, Namaste, brother. How are you? He says, I need to speak with you. He says, yes, I'm busy right now. Yes, but it's urgent. I am late for an appointment, a very important appointment, in the next town, 30 miles away. Can I buy your donkey? Yes, 50 euros. I can give 50 euros. 50 euros for this beast? Yes. Very important appointment. Okay. So the man takes the donkey, gets on the donkey, and he's gone. You see? So this man who's chipping away, he say what? Crazy people these days. They have money to burn. He spends 50 euros on a donkey that's worth 5. Foolish man. And he chips away. Now the man on the donkey goes about, 200 meters, and he stopped. He takes off the celestial gem. He puts it in his bag. He turns the donkey around, slaps him. Donkey goes back to the owner. And the owner say, look at that. Man comes, gives me 50 euros for a 5 euro donkey, and then sends it back. Funny things these days. Celestial gem has come to you. You're thinking, interesting. Tie it around the neck of your donkey. Donkey ego. This is why I say, digest your seeing now. Because sometimes the mind goes, wow, that wasn't the answer I was expecting to find. And, okay. I say, no, you found it. The thing you've been looking for is you. But not the old you, not the made up you. That which is called the perceiver, who no one can find through the mind.
Mooji.
Okay, there you go. You come, you there. Yeah. Yes. Huh? Water, yes.
Thank you, beloved Master. It's a joy to be here, and there are many that love you and Tiru. Vanamalai, I was just there, and your tailor says hello. Send you greetings. There are so many ideas about what would be said, and I don't know if there's anything actually to say, other than the thought arose that you are the tuning fork for the infinite, and the I Am presence is only this that's brought the heart into the recognition of what's true. It's also seen that everything has brought to the recognition of what's true. And there's so much gratitude for your words and the power in following your teachings specifically, and that everything you have pointed to is what is, actually. And there's so much gratitude for this. There seemed to be a lot of burning and hatred and all these things that came up. And in following your teachings in this I Am presence, it was seen that all of this arises here, but does not change ever what is here. Everything's here.
So therefore, if all of this arises and is seen that it does not impact upon nor change what is fundamentally here, then you lose interest in that. You lose interest in these things, no? And when you lose interest in something, it doesn't register in consciousness anymore. When you lose interest in something, it doesn't register in consciousness that it even arose.
Yes.
You don't pay any attention to that. So then, what you pay attention to?
Well, it was seen here that there is there are these seeming, attraction to the story of not being what is, actually, somehow, if that makes sense. And
Yes, and that should be looked into also.
yes.
Because, it can still, even in the light of the discovery of the true, they can still linger some attraction for the untrue. Something keeps going there and playing with that. A little bit this, and it feels like it's harmless. It's harmless because I know I am this. But still something wants to go there. It even wants to test out, if I go there, does it have anything to do with this? Can it change here? I keep trying. And I said, no, there's some interest there. There's interest there. And little by little, the interest grows, become habit. When a habit is formed, the desire to tackle the habit is weak, because something enjoys the habit. It doesn't really want to remove it. It says things like, but I know I am not that. You see? I know I am not that. When you know you're not that, you don't even think about it. You don't even think about it. It's just something that belongs maybe to this body-mind play. But you have to be very honest. Because it's easy to say, it's just the body-mind's drama, like that. When it doesn't matter to you, the activities that's arising, doesn't matter at all. There is nobody even doing them. You don't even feel there's anyone even doing them. You don't use this as an Advaita excuse. You know this, it really is, your mind is not being used to decide your day. It is simply just a kind of happening. Then it doesn't pick up any karma because there's no person. Where there's no person, there's no karma. Where there's no person, there's no karma. Something in you is not person. It's impersonal. Don't think because that is impersonal mean it is dry and dull and cold and unfeeling. Not at all. It is the source of feeling, but true feelings. Not feelings born from delusion, attachments, need. No, true emotion. So these don't necessarily go away. You're not left like some piece of stone or something. In fact, on the contrary, the life is vivid. Even in your stillness, it generates tremendous power. It can do. And why is it important? Because in spite of saying, I understand that I know I am this, I know that I am the self, and all these things, they are nothing. They are nothing. Yes? But your presence and the reading that emanate from your presence may still be the reading of a person. Do you follow? Smell like person. Huh? Talk like the Buddha. Smell like person. It can happen, no?
Yes.
Yes.
I wish to lay all of this. This seemed like there was an idea that there was something else to be burned.
It may not even have to come in this way. It just that you are so one with that. You're so in love. Even beyond being in love, you're inescapably that. You're inescapably that. It's not squeaky clean. It's not going in this direction of being squeaky clean. It's just, there's no room for the nonsense. You see? If there was a nonsense, you've turned it into something holy. Just by the purity of your heart.
Yeah, this love is all that's desired.
And what is happening also, every time you turn your attention inward, it's as though something's pull the attention inside, into the full cuddle of the Supreme. And you think, why I keep going out? It's so nice here. You keep staying here, so nice. And then nice disappear. You say, no, I don't want nice to disappear. No. Something greater than nice is here. There's something, you may say, the Supreme Being. It can never be upset about anything. Are you upset about something? Can you imagine God? I wish they would stop doing that. No. It doesn't work like that. The wisdom of the Supreme is not acting from somewhere else only, it's also within you. Your whole mechanism is moving in accordance to the purity or impurity of your identity or something like that.
Everything is this. Even if an idea arises here that it isn't. And I lay any ideas that may come in at your feet. Any ideas at your feet.
All ideas, they come and go, just like clouds come and go. Leave them, they go by themselves. Nothing, keep nothing. Make use of them in their momentary here and goneness. They're going by themselves anyway. Everything is like that. Wonderful. Suppose everything that you saw, you photographed and it stayed. Suppose everything you saw or felt registered. Were you keeping all this stuff? It comes and goes. Wonderful consciousness. It eliminates what is not of any value. What you value will look for similar likes and press save, and it will create some cholesterol around that type of impression will build up or something. But these things, they are very ephemeral. Your thinking can somehow solidify them, although solidifying is also just an idea. It's not true. Hold on to the sense of being, be the being, love the being. That itself is purity. Just love the being. Be quick to let go. Be quick to forgive. Is that you? He's there already.
Namaste, Mooji.
Ah,
I did online retreat real time from Jimar in May.
okay.
I fall in love with your teachings. I still have few questions that I am not able to follow the teachings.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong in the teaching, but this is my weakness I want to keep in front of you.
Yes.
Especially, example, yesterday I came in, there was no sleep last night due to bus travel. It was horrible to sit here yesterday without the night sleep.
Yes.
I couldn't focus. And another example, some days before the sleep, the legs paining.
Yes.
Does not happen all the time,
Ah.
but once in a while, maybe once in a month. The awareness, I'm not able to get into that. So what can I do in those circumstances?
The otherness,
Yes.
what it means, the otherness. The awareness you're not able to get into. That is not true. It's awareness never leaves. It doesn't need a break. It never leaves. Your idea of yourself comes and goes. It leaves and comes back. That is watched from awareness. It is again the person who is saying, there are sometimes I'm not able to catch hold of the awareness. But that is watched in awareness. This is what you see, the person who you imagine yourself to be, saying sometimes I'm really together in my meditations and the sense of being is going very well, but sometimes I'm not able to like really be the being or be in the awareness. This is an idea. The beingness cannot leave, it cannot go. You see? The person, the temperature changes all the time. Sometimes the person feels wonderfully close, maybe even wonderfully present. Another time it feels, I'm here in my body, but I'm not really here properly. You see? And we feel that that is a fact, that is what is being experienced. And ordinarily, most places in the world would not disagree with you. They would say, oh, well, let's see if we can do some pranayama or something, or we do something, do some chanting or something. Go and sleep and come back, you'll feel better. And that is okay up to a point. But here, no. I want to show you something, you see, that you're identifying the wrong way round. The person you take yourself to be is itself phenomenal to the real seer, the real place, which is awareness. It is the awareness that you are. It's not that you come into awareness. If you feel, yes, I'm moving into awareness, that is a thought being experienced in awareness. But this twist that I speak about, it feels something cannot accept it. The usual one that you take yourself to be, find it very difficult to look from this perspective. You see? I told a story, I remember last year I was here also, I gave this example, which I'm giving now, that when I was a young boy, many of you have heard this account, but I think it is a very appropriate example to give to you. When I was a young boy at school, one school friend came and showed me a picture. I told you this. Small picture like this. And it just looked like black and white drawing. And he asked me, what do you see? And for me it was very simple, very clear. There's a white vase or like an urn. Somewhere like this, like some Greek urn or vase like that. So there's a white vase. And what else? It's the background is black. What is this? He says, really look at it. What else do you see? I'm looking, I'm thinking, what's wrong with you? I mean, what else is there to see? It's just a white vase in a black background. What is this? He said, no, really look. Look here. But I don't understand what am I supposed to see? He says, look, can you see the two faces? I said, get out of here, I'm talking about two faces. There's just white vase on a black background. So look at two faces facing each other. Wow, that is fantastic. I could see two faces mirroring each other, black faces like that. He says, where's the vase? I said, I can't find the vase. Now it was two black faces, white background. Said, wow, this is fantastic. Where did you get this? I was asking. And then later I found it was a drawing by, I think it may be a German artist called Escher. He often did these kind of illusions, drawings, So looking, first the vase, I can only see this. And then, wow, I could see the reverse thing. And I could see two faces, which I could not see before. Where did they come from? They're there. Where's the vase? I can't find the vase. I'm looking for the vase. I can't find the vase. All I could see, two faces. Then here comes the vase again. Now I can see, where's the two faces? I said, I want this drawing, because it felt like it's a good trick. And then at a certain point, I could see both. Just something happened, and I could look a certain way, and I could see this vase and another chick, and I see the face. And then almost just like this, I could see both. I don't know how useful this example is going to be for you. We are used to looking from a certain perspective. From the perspective that I am this person, I went to school as this person, I grew up as this person, I've learned to look at life and to read from this person. And now you're telling me to look at this person. How can I look at this person? You see? Well, if you were a person and that is the fact, beyond person there's nothing, then I will just be making a fool of myself and trying to mislead you. But because you can see your person, shows that there is another dimension, another seeing that is capable of perceiving your person. And if your person can be perceived, then this thing must be beyond your person. And instantly you will know it. So this way you say, I came yesterday because of bus problems, I could not sleep properly, I could not follow the satsangs because my mind's too tired. You see? Please listen to that. Mind's too tired, I can't follow. And we all understand that I can't follow. Also legs perhaps not so comfortable, and could not get into it properly. Everybody else seemed like they're really getting into it. But me, I can't do it. Okay? So I said, what is the answer? Maybe someone else would have told you, go home today, go to bed early, get some sleep, and tomorrow satsang will be much better for you. I'm saying, no. You can do this, of course, but your report that you are not able to get really into the awareness thing is a report coming only from your person.
Yes.
It's not the report of presence. It's not the report from your full awareness like that. And that is the goal of this research, of the satsang, to flip you over. And then you realize, I was not flipped over at all. I've always been here. I've always been here as awareness. But there was this thought I've been living with that I am my conditioning and I'm just the body. And that thought, believed in deeply, created the life I call my own. Now I can see all that I've said has been my life, and that I've been doing this and so on. It's been happening spontaneously, and my mind keep writing the checks. But can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see from and as awareness? Or you may say, sometimes I can, sometimes not. Can you see if you say, sometimes I can see from the place of awareness, and sometimes I can't see from the place, that is false. You're always seeing with the grace and the power of awareness, but with the translation and interpretation of your mind. And it is the mind that then takes delivery for the experience. Do you follow this or not? And this is being corrected. It's being corrected by grace and also by understanding. The understanding is being trained to look like how I was looking at my picture. You say, no, I just can see, all I can see is the vase. I can't see what you see. I can only see the vase. Then when you can see the two faces, where were they? They were always there, but you cannot see them. Because the eyes were locked into a certain habit of looking. When this habit was corrected or exercised, suddenly you are able to change your focus in the subtlest way that consciousness can do it. And then at a certain point you can see both. You are going to see both. You are going to see your dynamic life, moving and feelings and your friends and saying, hey, you're late, what's happening, and so on. But at the same time, you will never be out of your awareness. You will see that that is an impossible thing. When everything else changes, awareness is constant. When is that seeing going to happen? So talk to me, let me in. Talk to us so that we can see what needs to happen here. Don't go away and just think, I really don't know how to apply that. Because the application and the applier will also be a thought movement inside the awareness that you already are.
So with the body pains, how can I apply this, especially if we are sitting like this?
When you are sitting like this and the body pains may become, some people, Western people, we're not used to sitting like that, okay? But because of room, you have to kind of find some place to put your legs, and there's nowhere to leave them outside, so you have to take them in with you. And we have to sit like this, and then after a while, sometimes 15 minutes, and you can't stretch them out like that. And I remember many days in Lucknow when we are sitting also on marble floors in winter time, and on a little piece of cushion. I cannot fit on the same cushion now. A little cushion, and you put everything on the cushion, everything. And you're there, and sometimes you have thousands of pins and needles in the legs and so on. And, it's like taking your attention, And there's no elbow room and things, and people are doing things like this. And you miss some of the Master's words. And at a certain point, the mind just somehow, your attention leaves the body alone. And you're in full satsang and grace. And if somebody screwed off your legs, you would not even miss them. You're so totally present. It can happen like that. And these things are good because sometimes it shows that with a bit more training, somehow you can bypass this attention that goes to the body and simply be in the state of being. Yeah? Sometimes a little bit, something, do a little bit, but you didn't pause to do that sometime. But if it's deeply uncomfortable and it's a routine, I would say, please sit on a chair and like this. You're very, very, very tired in satsang. Sometimes, especially in satsang. Have you noticed? Sometimes you come to satsang outside, chai, coffee, wow, top of the world, come to satsang. And I say, this is not true sleep, come on, that's not true sleep. This is the mind is hiding. Enough time we've done it, we come for silent sitting, okay, just sit in, nice. Notice the senses are moving by themselves. I said, what is that? Did somebody hit this person? And sometimes like this. I said, what's going on? I've never seen nobody sleep like that. So some play is going on in the head, and I said, don't worry about it. Well, come and just, okay, sleep, go to sleep. You see? Many times, it's happened before also, when we had one time, we were having a retreat. In those days, sometimes we have a 3-week retreat in Tiruvannamalai, and then somehow there was some sickness was going around. All of us, everybody had diarrhea almost. And then some people, half the participant alone in the hall Where are the others? They're in the toilet, they're in the bedroom, they're whatever like this. I say, go and get them, let them be sick in here. Bring your things in here, and just there. So it was like a hospital, half through like a I said, no. And they were very happy. Some of them came back to life and everything, and really diarrhea went. I don't mean it came out, I mean it just... It can do that, actually. It just dries up or something. People were in satsang. These things also, they are deeply connected, I can tell you, because even this body, I'm told it's got diabetes, normally going to the bathroom so often, every hour, 3-4 times, and sometimes I'm here for hours, nothing happened. Consciousness do it. So, but did you get my point? Yes. Central point is
Focus. Shift the focus from pain to the teaching.
Shift the focus from the pain to the teaching is one. Higher than that is which one? Higher than that teaching is which one?
I didn't get Guruji.
So, this one is like this. The one who is looking and saying, sometimes I cannot get back into the awareness. You must prove that to not be true. The one who is saying, some days, it's very easy for me to be in awareness all day. But sometimes I find, maybe because of tiredness, because somehow I've had an argument with someone, I had a bad email this morning, I've got ingrown toenail, whatever, I'm not able to stay in the awareness. I said, that is not true. It is not true. Awareness is not a choice. The realization of this as choicelessly what you are, that is freedom. It does not come and go. Everything else come and go. Even the state of presence also come and go. But the awareness never goes. Awareness and the life, they are one. Awareness and truth is one. Awareness and being is one. Awareness and timelessness is one. Awareness and the limitless is one. Awareness and you is one. But your person is not included in that. Your person is an offshoot. It is not stable. It is a form of consciousness, but it is contaminated with so many thoughts, so much belief. So the consciousness is not flowing purely. And this is corrected, not by beating yourself and going on long trips or something, but by understanding. Understanding is putting it in place. In some cases, just a look already establishes the consciousness. That has to happen. That this feeling, the practicer, the seeker, the person who feels I am mostly presence but sometimes person, that must be transcended. Don't be happy with 90% consciousness, 95% freedom. And this is what I'm trying to get across. The one who's trying, who says, because of this, because of lack of sleep, I'm not able to stay in my awareness, means I'm not able to concentrate, I'm not able to keep my attention on something. That is different from awareness. Because awareness and attention is not the same thing. Attention is one of our most powerful tools, because whatever attention connects with, it is registering inside as that is our experience. You see? But attention is also watched in awareness. You can say, my attention is very restless today. But something observes that. That which observes restless attention, is that itself restless? No, it is not restless. It observes restless attention. That observing is arising from the awareness self. It is very good to be in this kind of Sangha energy field. People who come to Mantesahaja and we're living in that space together, and it is a very intense and beautifully intense place, because it's very difficult for any of these characteristics to stay hidden there. They just come up. And something, if you're really here for freedom, you're happy that something is exposed. Some people still haven't got used to it yet. They're fiercely defending ego or something. But then you just look very foolish, because everyone can see that you're protecting the wrong guy. You see? And then if you're protecting the false, then you're going to want to run away. It feels just too visible. You feel too visible. But then you're reminded the thing you're running away with is the thing you should be running away from. So that type of environment is very good for everyone, because you gradually just grow back into yourself. Are there distractions there? Well, there are no distractions. It's just you get distracted. Someone could live in the middle of Delhi, in the middle of a roundabout, and be in total serenity, total peace, happy as a bird. Another one can live in a palace surrounded by hundreds of servants and can't sleep, have no peace, completely disturbed. So it is not your environment that dictates the impact that life will have upon you, but where you are in your beingness. The more you are established in your own center, let's put it like this, life becomes more softened, more space, more panoramic, more open. Mind stops being a minefield. It's more just, it's the same as being. Mind and being become one. Like that. When you feel again ready to tackle this, then come back and we'll push through this again, because you have to do it. Okay. So in the meantime, I want to say something, because I'm reminded I'm talking about Sahaja. And we talked a bit that it may arise for some people, because we are a team from Sahaja here, and for some people it may just be relevant what I'm going to say, because from time to time we do need people who bring some kind of skill that is useful to the community, and you may find that it is just the thing that might be right for you to make one great step out of maybe your present life circumstances. Maybe someone would like to come and at least explore into the possibility of bringing a skill that we need there. And for this you may go at lunchtime and speak to, I think there was some note about it, because we are looking for like electricians and plumbers, good cook. I have to be very careful when I say that, because there are people who have IT experiences and so on, and if you're feeling you like to think about it and contact one of the people at the desk, I think, where are they? And somebody can tell me, are they outside? Near the entrance, you can go and ask about that. And it would, yes, of course, it would be a very beautiful move to do that. If truth is what you're searching for, you don't need a lot of teachings. You don't need. You need a lot of teachings if you want to become a philosopher or something, or if you want to talk about many things. But I don't want to say I have anything to teach so much. I point. No? Point it out. Pointing is very direct. If you ask me, how do I get to the Ganga? I don't have to teach you about Ganga. You come out of the building here, turn left, walk up to the place, go through, Ganga's right there. That's pointing. That's pointing. How can I point to the self? In which direction is the self most? Which direction I can go for the self? Up, down, inside, out, left, right, north, west, east, south. Where is the self? If you look with the mind, then somebody say, yeah, go to the east. The self is everywhere, but it's more visible in the east. Is visible in the east? Okay. The invisible is more visible in the east? Yes, okay, maybe I'll try there. So this, I would love that you come back, because when it's your time and there is that, you really are truly open, then it's going to happen. Some movement is going to take place. A seeing must break open, because I am not going to work on you. I don't want to work. We have to dance together a little bit. Then we find it together. It becomes easy. It becomes fun for me, because it's the most beautiful thing to watch it being discovered again, watch it being recognized again. But right now, we take a break from that, and you come again, and we do this. Okay?
Thank you, Guru.
Yes, I like that. See? She saw him coming and she said, no.
Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you.
There's an urge to confirm something that came up through when the first person was speaking.
Okay.
So, since last year, I did more and more often this dropping into beingness, where I just drop everything over the day. And during the day, there's a lot of times where there's a lot of peace and a really good feeling of nothingness, one could say. And if there's a reaction coming up, I can catch it very quickly also, like if I would call it inner child or something that gets activated. And I can let it go, like not identify, and just let it happen.
Yes.
That's no problem. And when the person was speaking and we looked into the observer and so on, I asked myself, okay, what would actually get me into the person on a regular basis, like the person that's my most chosen identity or something like that. And I noticed if someone asks me for an opinion, like what do you think about the school system? Or what do you think about, I don't know, Tantra or whatever. And then I noticed that I think if someone asks me that, something gets activated as well, where I think I had some wounding from it, or I don't know, there's someone or something that wants to have an opinion.
Yes.
And
it is a very good observation you're making, that to find what triggers and then brings up the person, recreate the person again. You see, maybe they talk about all kinds of stuff and, job and, I don't have any, because many people come and they say, there's nothing left, Mooji. There's nothing left. I have no interest in anything at all out there, nothing at all. Okay? And then one day somebody talks about new Lamborghini. What sort of, you see? But you forgot, boom, this is where something, and it's okay. You look and you say, wow, who is so interested? You can follow again, where that was picked up and how that got activated and stuff, and you can watch that more. You say that, yes, maybe someone asked me for an opinion, and before I used to be quite opinionated. I always have something to say about, especially if you touch on this subject or something got fired up, but now what happened? What happens with this?
I feel before, just today, I was trying to stay in the beingness while speaking about a certain topic that is charged. Now I feel there's something in me that wants to just drop the opinion altogether, or that just feels the self probably doesn't have an opinion. Like I feel if I'm dropping everything, I'm so empty that I don't even
it is
care.
okay sometimes to express an opinion about something. Very spontaneously, someone asks about something, and you had this experience before, and you make a benefit of it. It's not that the self want to talk about the self. Just talk about the self. Actually, everything is the self, in a way, you see? It's whether it brings up the sense of this person, and then pride of knowing, and then you start to become argumentative, and then suddenly you have a different reading about you. You're fully pulled into, fire, balls of fire are flying out of your eyes and stuff like that because you're so passionate. You see, I listen and say, well, what is anything wrong with that? Well, if I would come to you in that moment and say, darling, stay in the self, and you wouldn't get irritable, because maybe in that moment you find, what? Don't talk to me about the self. I know what I'm doing. Then you'd say, well, you're really caught up in that. You see? So it depends how much you're pulled back into that noise, and you may just want, not because it's urgent you must get out, but you may choose a higher choice and say, yeah, actually, you know what? This is all nonsense, What am I getting so uptight about? It's nothing at all. And someone say, no, but I'm really interested in what you were about to say. I say, no, this was what I was about to say. Enough about that. You may want to drop it, or you may want to carry on. But they will both be significant for you if you are genuinely say that I just want to check in to see, because whenever I go into my person, then I get very, very tight in myself. Then I keep on going back over the things I say and then try to analyze whether I was right or it's not worth it or something. Or you may say something that seems quite matter-of-factual daily things, and it doesn't seem like it's in discord with anything. It seems perfectly fine.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like it's almost going deeper, like on a thinking level. Like, let's say, I feel some attachments in this, like whether I speak it out or not. Like if I have a certain opinion about something, there's something I'm holding. And it feels to me that now that I'm already a lot in that other place, this feels so much better. I'm so much more in love with that. So I really feel like emptying out my house in the sense of just allowing myself to drop as much as I can, and then maybe still spontaneously it can come up, but that I'm...
That is exercising and strengthening your powers of discernment. The powers to discriminate wisely. That's your choice. You made a higher move. You can start going in that direction and you can dismount anytime you want. Sometimes you're caught for a moment and something just, no, it's okay, sorry, no, and leave it. And that choice and you're turning away from something, it will feel inside you so much more wise, so much more clear. You're so much happier for abandoning, this building up this noise inside yourself. So it may come from time to time, an old habit, flashes through, and it was pulling something, and then somehow you pull it back. It's okay. Dismount from that one.
Yeah, this feels really beautiful, and I'm going to inquire into this because something saw clearly that any kind of belief or any kind of opinion I have comes from a trigger, like from being agitated, and it's not true. It's not the truth at all. Like, it's just my personal point of view, and I'm very happy to drop it. So I feel there's more space.
Drop the personal point of view, drop the person. Better drop the person also. You see, nothing is lost. If the person is only a little mask, it has a superficial role to play, then you may say like this, something, it doesn't leave any footprints in the consciousness. No problem. No problem with it. You will know. By the powers of your own discernment, you know. And then don't turn this into another big practice. No, sweep as you go. Sweep as you go. But don't buy extensions for your broom. No, just as you go, you go. Don't worry.
Thanks for saying that. I have a tendency to turn it into a practice, so thank you.
Yes. Mind again want to do that. Such joy when you catch the mind, no? And you catch him, and okay. When you catch him, okay. It's finished, you see. And what space remain? What panoramic space, such openness, such peace, such joy, such lightness, so fresh. Why pick up that trouble? Leave him alone.
Yeah, it feels like allowing myself to have no opinion comes closer to the allowing myself to be nobody.
Yes.
And just in a conversation to pass and say like, I don't have an opinion.
Yes.
So I don't know. The I don't know came up also, like.
Yeah. Yes.
And being happy about knowing nothing.
Yes. And don't talk about it also. Is it? Well, I know nothing. I have no opinion about these things. No. Just don't make any noise about it. How does zero talk about itself? What does zero have to say about itself? I am zero. No, doesn't say nothing. These are amongst the highest instructions I think you can have. Most people in our trained habits of being would feel like restricted to hear such things. What for you is a delicious freedom, the mind will feel restricted, you see. Good.
Thank you for all your beautiful pointing.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Karuna.
want to expose something. It catches much of my attention, and I cannot. Here I'm on satsang, but I'm not on satsang. I'm like on anger, like I'm angry about everything is happening around. I'm angry about sangha. I'm angry about like I'm not in team for the 3rd year, and like I don't know. I'm angry about you, and I.
Normally I'm first.
I don't know. It reached to you on the last place. I don't know why. And so it is. I always was very focused. I never turned away. Nothing is bothering me. I have a goal. I don't see any obstacles. And I was moving for like I don't know how many years, and death is not an obstacle to stop. I will die. Just my face is toward this place. But last I don't know how much time, but I'm just tired.
You're tired?
I'm exhausted.
By what?
By this intense. Like I don't know, and I'm angry about that. I'm not at the goal. And
this anger is not true. This anger is not true. Anger, I'm not at the goal. Like the mind is saying, like, I want to wake up. I really want to wake up. Okay. Cold water in the face. How dare you put cold water in my face? But you're awake now. Yes, but you offend me. It will always be something like that. It plays at waking up. And especially, when it sees that it's not going to wake up like this, it plays about how difficult it is to wake up. So something is entertaining that game a little bit, no? Because I have not shown you any of those things. I have never told you, look, you ignorant person, you are kind of, you stand no chance and all this type of stuff. No, I'm sure from the beginning I'm pointing to you what you are.
But why I don't get it? I don't know.
You being who don't get it? Show me the one who didn't get it. You're having a dream, an idea about yourself not getting it. You cannot get it. If you get it, you can lose it. If you got it on Wednesday, but you didn't get it on Monday, then you can lose it. It means that it was not there on Monday. If you get it, it means that it's always been here. It can never not be here. And that's what you got. The realization that it can never not be here. You can never not be this. That is the realization. You can't realize it, I got it on Wednesday, I lost it on Thursday. Then that's not it. And are you open for it now?
I try.
When you are, there is no struggle. When you are, there's no struggle. There's no struggle in me. Because I'm only here for this. I'm waiting for someone. You see? And you invite me for tea. I come, I knock on the door. You say, who is it? I say, it's Mooji. Oh. You sure? Yes. What you want? I don't want anything. You invite me for tea. When? So I say, okay, never mind. Wherever I don't want the tea so much. When you are open, when this thing is ready, somehow, but maybe it's too much noise is inside, and something is holding on to the noise. You want to be pacified first from the anger, then you will be open. No, you have to be open like this. You have no time to calm down. I'm not going to give you any time to defrost. I'm not going to give you any time to be prepared. You don't need time. How about that? That's out of my kindness, I say this to you. I'm not giving you any time to cool off, to feel better about it. You can shake off this. This is strangling everybody. What is it that does not take time? What is it that does not take time? Suppose I say you got 10 seconds. What you can do in 10 seconds? Unless you're Usain Bolt or something. You can do something beautiful in 10 seconds. Can you be faster than Usain Bolt? Yes, you can. What I can say. I'm still waiting for you. I'm still waiting for you. But not forever. I'm waiting. You come.
Hello, Mooji.
Hello.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Actually, I just wanted to report something and maybe get some confirmation. 4 years ago, when I last was here, I started to speak with you maybe a little bit egotistically because how excited I was that I had discovered that the witness or the watcher could be watched and witnessed. But in all of that, when you came back to me, to confirm what I was speaking about and also to chop my head off, which I had asked you to do, I went into my mind a little bit. And I realized something just happened to me, and it felt like a little while ago that maybe more of the answer of what my problem all these years of thinking that I'm watching the watcher is that I I do turn that witness around and I experience silence. But there is this kind of idea that I'm looking at a thing, which is the self or something, but at the same time I feel that that silence is, oh, it's just a little silence. I'm not experiencing something that deep, that maybe I just need to sit in that, find it, and deepen it. But then, when you said, oh, even that can be observed, 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 then I looked and I said, of course, that witness, that perceiver, that when to witness the witness, to perceive the perceiver is that which cannot be perceived. That is the only verbal answer I could give to it, is that so therefore it's kind of like losing a lot of time saying I'm witnessing this witnessing this self as an object, as a thing, instead of just accepting, okay, that who I am is that which cannot be perceived, that which I'm witnessing. And as soon as that idea came to me, I noticed something that, all of a sudden I feel like I'm not working at anything. That the silence is there, but I don't have to look at the silence. And I feel like even, I was very excited about that. And then I was, seeing people raise their hands and wanting to. But at the same time, I was able to be completely aware with all the other people's questions, with your answers and everything, and my excitement, and just be not like this has never happened before, but it was just so simple. I snapped into that. And also it's very interesting because, like you mentioned, acid reflux and these type of things the other day, these are things that disturb me sometimes too, and this was coming on very strongly, and my tiredness was coming on very strongly. All of that, which was happening to me at that moment, has disappeared. And my attention, whatever, my awareness or clarity, whatever, became so much stronger. And I'm not making some grand statement that my work is finished or that it's all. But the other day also, I shouted something from behind, which was also because I've been really, really, really at this, where I said, oh yeah, that who you really are is like sleeping, and I just have to wake it up. And you said, that which you are can never sleep. And so what I felt like something, like I was close to something. And then this, just feeling like, okay, that the perceiver, the perceiver is that which cannot be perceived. And just that is not like a thought, it's just that, okay. Anyway, there's so many other things, but that's enough, I think. And I would, just
You left it at a greater place than you're finishing now, because earlier you had mentioned, I felt, but this is perfect, that the perceiver cannot be found phenomenally, and it must be where I am. What I am is that. And when you are that, when you're clear in that you're that, there's no movement that you must catch. Everything is pouring out spontaneously in front. There's something that happens here, I just want to say, because very often I see people just walking out like that. And I feel that somehow, unless you're going to the bathroom, you should not be walking out in such bundles when something of this magnitude is being shared with you. This is my feeling about that. Now, I don't want to trap anyone, but it seems it's so casually. People need to go out. They should sit more near the door at the back, where you can go out. Don't just get up from the middle, just walking out. This is singularly the most important thing a human being can discover. The most important thing a human being can discover. Your life, opportunity and purpose culminates in that. To miss this chance while you are this and not know this experientially, that is the sadness that I think is too great. But at the same time, it's nothing. It's nothing to the Supreme. If you have to come live another 100 lives, it's not going to cry about it. But this perhaps is also the paradox of life. This is why I say, don't build your house outside the gate of Nirvana. Don't build a house outside the gates of Nirvana. Sitting there watching who is new today, another one going through. George, another one is going through. And you're outside. You say something that you came to see, that where you are positioned, that which is the perceiver, or where the perceiver cannot be seen phenomenally. This is true. Sometimes I say myself, it is a non-phenomenal recognition. Meaning it is not one thing recognizing another. It is a self-recognition. But it is not of an object. And silence, you say, it is the perfume of that. But even if silence is not there, because there are some flowers that don't keep producing the scent all the time. You don't smell them all the time. So like this, even if silence is not perceived, it makes no difference. Silence is not the way by which you know the self. So any state can play in front of it, but the idea that it has lost something or it's moved away, this is nonsense. How can this be true? You see?
When you said just now that I had it, and then I kept saying some words which were like more than necessary at that point, I also feel that the same, like I was saying that when I heard.
Yes, because sometimes itself, the mind, spiritual mind, likes the undoing of something and the looking through, and that's why I say, don't fall in love with that.
But what I'm saying is that even at that point, I can even, that is witnessed, and it feels like something, is more real about this, in the fact that even though I witnessed that, I said more words, and that I had other questions that that are not even really important. And at the same time, I still feel whatever feeling means about this, that same sense of marinating in that state of what cannot be perceived. And that at the moment I can feel there is some sensation, like my heart is beating like harder. I feel like just just a tremendous state of clarity. But all I know is that if I'm marinated in it, that is all there is necessary. But
Well, who is marinating in it now?
no one.
It's just like that. You've come to zero. You come to zero. No one can guess the value of this zero.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's just sit for a few minutes together, no? There is just the sense of being by which you know you exist. There's nothing else going on. If thoughts come, they are momentary. If you should want to present them, while you are trying to present them, they are already disappearing. It is really not worth it. All the thoughts, sensations, imaginings, intentions, they are just like clouds passing. You're like the sky. You're not passing. You witness the clouds passing, but witnessing is not even your job. It only matters, this witnessing, if the sky gets confused with a cloud and imagine that it is passing. Whether there are thunderstorms or lightning, tornado, rainbows, sky is only sky. Similarly is our being. Its nature is silence. It's always peaceful. When lightning and thunder claps, the sky is not shocked. It is not injured. It is aware of all this play, but at the same time it remains unaffected. So many changes come, changes go, but it is one. The sky has no favorite clouds. It has no favorite days or nights. Our beingness is like the sky. But the mind has many shapes, Mind takes the form also of the thunder and lightning and rainbow and the story and all of this. Nothing is happening to you. Because of the senses and the mind, we can perceive the sensations of life. They're just coming and going. This body is moving and responding totally spontaneously. Mind comes up with some notions about preparing for something that is also in some way spontaneous. It is happening. Even mind's plans are rising spontaneously even. Where are you in all of this? You simply notice casually. It's a kind of neutralness, a neutrality about the being. It is so beautifully content. For a while it is also engaged with the mind, and it comes into states of delusion, you may say. But when it becomes naturally self-aware, it's a beautiful contentment. The play goes on. The dream goes on. But it is as though you are awake inside a dream. Nothing is so serious. Then the marks of anxiety and worry, they leave your face. The tensions that are created through mind and its fears and projections, they're also being discharged, leaving. So when others, they see you, there's a vibration, there's an energy present in you that is the most powerful and yet at the same time the most beautiful. Because we remind each other of our true nature. As we take our break and you move about in your own natural rhythm, just try and keep your attention just in the beingness. Stay as the beingness, that natural sense. From here you can see that actions, reactions, interactions, they are playing totally spontaneously. You're neither ahead nor behind. You're just here. Looking at life, looking out from a kind of vastness. And yet you're not shopping for experience. Your beingness is your experience. Will you sing something? So today you don't carry this feeling that things should be a certain way. Don't dictate to life. Don't determine ahead. And then leave the senses just to function in their own natural way. And they become silent. They're perceiving in silence. Don't form any conclusion or any judgment about anything. Look as though you are a first-time visitor to this planet. Just look and move in your natural rhythm.